Hello everyone, this is Samiksha and today let's know about the history of the conflict of Jammu and Kashmir between India and Pakistan. We all know ever since the division of the subcontinent in 1947, India and Pakistan have led long-standing conflicts in and around the territories of Jammu and Kashmir. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars over its territory and each state continues to assert its claim over its entire area. China also holds a large part of this contested territory called Aksai Chin. Tensions and grievances about these two historic disputes have continued to widen regional instability and undermine efforts for demilitarization of the region. So let's first know about how old this fight is. Kashmir is an ethnically diverse Himalayan region covering around AC 6,000 miles and famed for the beauty of its lakes, meadows and snow-covered mountains. Even before India and Pakistan have won their independence from Britain in 1947, these areas were hotly contested. And under the plan permitted by the Indian Independence Act, Kashmir was free to accede either to Pakistan or to India. Maharaja Hari Singh of Jammu and Kashmir initially wanted Kashmir to become an independent nation but chose to join India in October 1947. But the story behind him choosing India is way too more interesting. So secondly, let's be acquainted with the first war between the two newly independent nations, that is, first of the 4 wars of India and Pakistan. Pakistan precipitated the war few weeks after its independence by launching tribal Lashkars from Waziristan in effort to capture Kashmir and to preempt the possibility of its ruler joining India. Hari Singh, the Maharaj of Jammu and Kashmir, was facing an uprising by his Muslim subjects in Poonch and lost control in portions of the western districts. On October 22, 1947, Pakistan's Pashtun tribal militias crossed the border of the state. These local tribal militias and irregular Pakistani forces first tried to capture the state capital Srinagar, but after reaching Baramulla, they stopped and took the plunder and stole. Maharaja Hari Singh then asked India for help. And here comes the twist. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the former Home Minister of India at that time, was given the role of merging all the 565 princely states of India into the Indian Federation. All except Junagadh, Jammu Kashmir and Hyderabad fall into his basket. And here we are talking about Jammu and Kashmir, right? So when the Pakistani invasion started back in September 1947, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel immediately wanted to send troops for help but waited until Kashmir's monarch himself came and asked for help. And help was offered by our side but with one condition, that is the signing of the instrument of accession. The war was initially fought by the Jammu and Kashmir state forces and by militias from the frontier tribal areas adjoining the northwest frontier province. Following the accession of state to India on October 26, 1947, Indian troops were airlifted to Srinagar, the state capital. British commanding officials initially refused the entry of Pakistani troops into the conflict, citing the accession of the state to India. Numerous analysts state that this war ended stalemate with none of the getting the victory. But others on the other hand says that India stand victorious as India gained the majority of the contested territory. But Pakistanis refused to accept the accession of the state to India, claiming that it was obtained by fraud and violence. Governor General Muhammad Ali Jinnah then ordered his army chief General Douglas Gracie to move Pakistani troops to Kashmir at once. However, the Indian and Pakistani forces were still under a joint command and Field Marshal Uchenlek prevailed upon him to withdraw the order. With its accession to India, Kashmir legally became Indian territory and the British officers could not play any role in an inter-dominion war. However, later in 1948, they relented and Pakistan's armies entered the war shortly afterwards. The front solidified gradually along what later came to be known as the Line of Control. A formal ceasefire was declared effective on January 1949. Let me explain rigorously. On May 1948, the Pakistan army officially entered the conflict in theory to defend the Pakistan borders, but it made plans to push forward Jammu and cut the lines of communication of Indian forces in the Mahinder Valley. In Gilgit, the force of Gilgit Scouts under the command of the British officer Major William Brown muted and overthrew the governor Ghansar Singh. William Brown prevailed on the forces to declare accession to Pakistan. They are also believed to have received assistance from the Chitral Scouts and the bodyguard of the state of Chitral. Chitral, one of the Pakistan's princely state which acceded to Pakistan on October 6, 1947. The terms of the ceasefire laid out in a UN Commission resolution on 13th of August 1948 were adopted by the Commission on 5th of January 1949. This required Pakistan to withdraw its forces, both regular and irregular, while allowing India to maintain minimal forces within the state to preserve law and order. Upon compliance with these conditions, a plebiscite was to be held to determine the future of the territory. Owing to disagreements over the demilitarization steps, a plebiscite was never held and the ceasefire line essentially became permanent. Some sources may refer to 5th January as the beginning of the ceasefire. India gained the control over 2/3 of the majority area of Jammu and Kashmir, including the Kashmir Valley, Jammu province and Ladakh. Pakistan controls over 1/3 of the state, including 3 districts of North, which later came to be known as Azad Jammu and Kashmir, and the Gilgit province and Baltistan. Later, India and Pakistan signed the Karachi Agreement in July 1949 and established a ceasefire line which will be supervised by the observers. The resentment over Pakistani defeat in the war resulted in a failed corps led by General Akbar Khan in 1951 against the government of the Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan. Army officers thought the government's acceptance of UN mediation and ceasefire was weak and squandered an opportunity to capture the entirety of Kashmir. After 2 further wars in 1965 and 71, only minor changes in the ground situation had been effected. After the last war, the two countries reached the 1972 Shimla Agreement, converting the ceasefire line into a line of control and disavowing the use of forces across it. In 1984, India gained Siachen after launching a short military action. In conclusion, Kashmir's issue has been the major cause of political, diplomatic and regional stand between India and Pakistan. Outlet, both the sides are showing interest to have the bilateral talks once again. And in my perspective, the solution of this conflict lies in the psychological interventions. Psychological perspective is more profound than that of military, diplomatic and political dimensions and interpretations. Unlike the share price and the ideal of Hindu nationalism, the clear solution to this conflict lies in the acceptance of the fact that common Kashmiri people deserve to live a normal and a peaceful life. India and Pakistan both must come together to eradicate the conflicts and remove the functional terrorists in Kashmir. And bilateral talks must be continued. The confidence building measures must be initiated meaningfully. In this way, by the mutual goodwill of the political authorities of India and Pakistan can bring peace to this doomed province. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for your time.